Hi soulmates, welcome to class once more. If this is the first time you are coming across my channel, thank you. Kindly like, subscribe and share. Now let's get on with today's video. Today's class we are going to do a shift dress and we are using these two fabric, the white and the colorful materials for this shift dress. It is a very easy dress and you can make this under 30 minutes or no, let me not exaggerate. You can make this under 45 minutes highest. It is very easy to make. So the first thing I want to do now is to prep my fabric. I'm using the white and this flowered fabric so it will come out well. And we're also going to cut this stylish collar as you can see on the thumbnail. So the first thing I want to do, I want to fold my fabric into two and I'm also going to create a border line. So after doing that, I'm going to impute my shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 8 inches. That is 16 divided by 2. I'm going to come down by 1 inch to get the shoulder slope for the front. We come down by 1 inch. Then from the middle, go in by 2.5 inches, universal. Then you now connect those lines together. Then you get your shoulder slope. So I'm just going to connect it. After doing that, the next thing I want to do now is to measure my armhole measurement. That is my bust divided by 6 plus 1. Mine is 8 inches. So from that down of that shoulder slope, you are going to measure your that 8 inches. And I'll just use my ruler and connect it together. Can you see that? So I'm also going to transfer my shoulder measurement. I'm going to transfer it to that new line, that shoulder, that chest line. So I'm just going to connect it into a straight line. I'll just connect it gently. So now after doing that, the next thing I want to do is to get my vertical measurement. So I'm going to get my waist measurement, my shoulder to waist which is 16 inches. I'm just going to roll across. Then I'm also going to get my hip measurement. That is 25 inches. That's a shoulder to hip 25 inches. So I'm also going to mark it and just draw lines across. Do you understand? Now on that chest line, that's where you're going to impute the bust divided by 4. Since this is a free gown, I'm going to add 1.5 inch. So on the waist, to waist divided by 4, I'm also going to add 1.5 inch. I'll use half inch to sew it, then 1 inch for ease. On the hip line, my hips divided by 4, I'm going to add 1.5 inch for ease. So anything I get for the hip, that's what I'm going to use for the down part of this gown because it's a shift dress. It's not pencil, it's very free. So I'm just going to connect those lines together with my ruler. I'll connect from the bust to the waist to the hips. So after doing that, it's time to impute our armhole curve. So you are going to measure your armhole. Mine is 8. You divide it by 2, which is 4. So you are going to measure the 4 inches. That means you are getting the midpoint. For the front, you go in by 0.75 inch. For the front, go in by 0.75. So you connect these lines together. The lines I'm pointing to. Just use your armhole curve and just connect them together. So you are going to use that to get your armhole. Just connect it. I'm doing mine already. So after connecting it on your neckline, you come in by 3 inches. Then the depth for the front is also 3 inches. So it's 3 by 3 for the front part. So you're just going to create a circle, a semicircle for the neck. Just connect those 2 points together. So the width is 3 inches and the depth is also 3 inches. Now that you are done, for the down part, I'm not going to measure the full length of the gown. So I'll just take my from the hip line, I'll just measure the full length of this gown. The gown is total is 40, but 6 inches for the white fabric. So the full length is 34. So the down part, I'm going to just use the measurement of the hip. I'm going to use it for the down part. That's why. So now I'm cutting everything out. So it's a shift dress. So I'll just cut it out. So I'm done with the front part now. It's time for us to cut the back. So the first thing you want to do is to measure 3 inches, which I'm doing already. So all your measurements will start from that 3 inches mark. You give allowance of 3 inches. So I'll go ahead and impute my shoulder measurement. Now also go ahead and impute my 2.5 inches from the mid shoulder. However, the depth for that shoulder slope for the back is you come down by 0.75. Please, 0.75. So now I'm going to measure my waistline, which is 16 inches. I'll just go ahead and measure my horizontal lines. My waistline 16 inches. I'll roll it across. I'll also go ahead and measure my hip line. My hip line, which is 25 inches. I'll measure it too. I'll also go ahead and get the full length of this gown and I'll just measure it too. So I've gotten the waist, the hip, and the full length of the gown. So I'm going to create my shoulder. From the shoulder slope, I'll come down by 8 inches to create my chest line. I'll just roll it across, and I'll also use that shoulder divided by 2 and measure it on that chest line. Pull a straight line across, just the way we did for the front. Now, for this back, we are going to divide by 2 to the midpoint of that shoulder slope, which is 4 inches. Now, when you are coming in by this time, you are going in by 0.5. If you remember, for the front, we came in by 0.75. For the back is 0.5. Now, you are just going to impute your bust divided by 4. I will impute it. I will also add 1.5 inch allowance on my waist divided by 4. I will impute it. 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Then our hips divided by 4. Now add 1.5 inches. Then you use your hip measurement for the down part of the gown. Do you understand? So since it's a shift dress, you just use your measurement for the waist for the down part. So just connect all the lines together. I'm just using my chalk to make it bold because this fabric, I hope you people can see what I'm doing, because this fabric is kind of bright. So I'm just going to connect the armhole curve together. Those lines that I've created, I'm just going to connect the armhole curve together. So let me connect it now, and this is how it looks. So you go to the shoulder now, you create your width is 3 inches for the back. Then the depth for the back is 2 inches. For the back is 2 inches. So you just connect it together. So you just use your chalk and connect it. I hope you can see what I'm doing. This chalk, I'm having a feeling that you can't see, but I hope you can. Now on the waist, you extend the line to that extra 3 inches we measured. Then from that edge, you come in by 1 inch. So from that 1 inch now, make sure you use your curve ruler. It shouldn't be too pointy. Curve it into your hip line. From that 1 inch you came in by, curve it into your hip line. Use the curve ruler for the down. That way our zipper will not bulge. Then you are going to take your long ruler from that 1 inch by the waist. Make sure you connect it. It will be slanted from that 1 inch. Connect it to where your neckline ends. Just look at what I'm doing. Can you see it? So that we've created a kind of slant at our back. So we are going to replace that 1 inch by the side. The 1 inch will remove from the waist. You are going to replace it. So you are just going to curve it into your bust. Replace it and just curve it into your hip line, and you are done with replacing it. So now when you want to measure your zipper allowance, you are measuring it not from that old line but from that curving line. So I'm using 1 inch as zipper allowance. That's what I'm measuring now. Just look at what I'm doing now. I'm not measuring it straight because our back is not straight, our spine is not straight, so it's supposed to be curvy. So I'm just extending the neck measurement. So I'm just going to measure 1 inch across to act as our zipper line, our hips. You can see that it's curvy, even though it's a free gown. At least your zipper will not be doing like snake behind you. It will lay flat. If you understand what I mean. If you watched it to this point and you've not subscribed, please. Do you want me to kneel down, raise up my hand, close my eyes? I'm just joking. Kindly subscribe. So I'm cutting it out now. Just cut it out, and it's time for us to do. So after cutting it out like that, I went ahead to sedge it so it will not fray. That's the first thing you do, just sedge it. So I've done it. So I'll hold the shoulder, then I'm going to hold the two sides. I'll come and show you what I did. Meanwhile, I held it by 0.5 inch. Can you see it? So it's time for us to impute our zipper to it. So the first thing I want to do, I want to mark my zipper line, which is 1 inch. So on the right side, since you are using chalk that will easily be cleaned, you are going to mark your 1 inch. I want to teach you something, especially if you don't have zipper foot and you're using a manual machine. This will make you using zipper very easy. So after I've marked the 1 inch, can you see where I will now place my zipper directly on where I will sew? However, when I want to pin it, I'll pin it by the side. I'm not pinning it where I want to sew. So that means when I'm sewing, there's no need for me to remove the pins as I'm sewing because the pin is not in the way. So I'm just going to pin it by the edge of the zipper, making sure that my zipper is on top of that 1 inch mark I made. I hope you understand what I'm doing. This is for you if you don't have zipper foot. It is very easy. So when you're sewing, the pins will be in place. You don't need to remove the pins as you are sewing, and your zip will come out well. So you just use pins to hold it at the edge. So I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it down. I'm also going to do the other side. Then I'll come and show you how it looks after I'm done pinning everything together. So I've gone ahead to pin the two sides neatly like this. So when I'm sewing this, the pin will not be in place. So I'm going to hold it for the down part. I'm going to measure my 1 inch allowance for zip. So it means where my zip stops, I will just sew from 1 inch down to close up the down part of the gown. Do you understand? So I'm going to go to the machine now and sew it. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to sew the zipper. When the zipper ends, I'll sew it down. Come and show you how it looks like. So now this is it. Can you see how flat my zipper is laying? And this is the down part. So it's now time for us to attach the white gathers to it. So I'm just going to measure the width of my gown. So after getting it, I'm just going to use like times 3 of that width for my gathers. So I've cut a fabric of 6 inches. I've also gone ahead to sew loose stitch across just one. So I want to do gathers now. I will open it up if you don't know how to do gathers, and we'll just use one of the thread. I'll just pull it. Since it is loose stitch, it will automatically create gathers. So I'm just going to gather it. As I'm gathering it, I'll make sure I measure it so that it will correlate to the round part of my gown. So they will be equal. I'm just going to measure it. It's fraying. That means immediately I'm done, I'm going to weave it because this material is really, really fraying a lot. So I've done it. So I'll just close it up. After closing it up, I'll come and show you. So now that I've closed it up, I will open my gown. Can you see it? The right side of the gathers to the right side of the gown. I'll just place it. You might start from the back, you might start from the center front, anyone. So you just sew it together. So now I'm done. It's time for me to measure the hand. So the first thing I want to do, I want to measure around the armhole because I'm using freehand method to draft the hand. So since I have known the armhole, I'm just folding my fabric into two. The full length of the hand is 8 inches. However, I'm going to measure 6 because 2 inches will be the white fabric at the edge. So it's 7. So I'm not just going to use my free hand and just create a curve. So I'll make sure I measure it to be sure that the curve that I created is the same length with the around armhole. When I've gotten the length, I'll just mark it. Then I'm on the down part, I'm going to mark my armhole width. I'll mark it. In this instance, my armhole width is 7.5 inches on fold. I will add half inch for sewing allowance and just connect it together. This is just freehand method of drafting an arm. So I'm just going to cut it out. So after cutting it out, I'm just going to split it into two so I can get two separate so now that I'm done, so I'm going to bring the white fabric now. On fold, I'm going to measure a long strip of fabric. On fold, it will be 2.5 inch. So when I open it up, it will be 5 inch. That is half inch for sewing both sides. Do you understand? Now you are going to bring your fabric. The wrong side of the white and the wrong side of the fabric itself will be facing each other. So you are going to hold it by half an inch. I'll do it on both sides and show you. Now I've sewn it. Can you see it on the wrong side, half an inch? So you turn it, open it up, fold the edge by 0.5 inch and just place it on top of that folding. So you just place it on top of the hand like this. That way it will be neat both inside and out. So I'm going to sew it. I'll sew it on the other side and show you. So I'm done with the hand. I'm also gonna need to attach it. So we'll go to the neck now. You are going to fold the neck from one zip to the other. Make sure that the shoulder align. So you are going to measure it. The first thing you do first is to notch the midpoint of the neck. This when you are notching, make sure the shoulder align. So you open your zipper, you take your tape rule from the end of one zipper, measure it to where you notch. That will be half of it, half of the neck. This one here is 9.5 inches. So now you're going to take a white piece of paper or any paper. So that 9.5 inches, I'm going to add 1 inch, that is 10.5. I will now divide it by 2. So after dividing it, I got 5.25. So I'm just going to measure it. You're just going to measure 5.25 and use your ruler and draw a straight line. So I'm just going to draw a straight line now, creating the neck. Now from there, you're going to get the length, how high you want your collar to be. I want it to be 4 inches. However, I'm going to use 1 inch to turn it. So the length of my collar will now be 5 inches. By the time I'm finished turning it to turn back to 4 inches. So I'm just going to mark it across. Make sure I extend that line so that it will be equal. Now after doing that, there's one pointy end in the collar. So it depends on how wide you want that pointy end to be. For me, I'm going to use 3 inches for that pointy part. I tried using 3 inches. I discovered that it would be too pointy. So I changed my mind. So I'm using 2.5 inches. So from the down part, so you just from that 2.5 inches, connect it to the up. So that means that up part will be where you attach to the neck directly. Then on the edge, you come up by half an inch and just connect it. Then you cut it out. Can you see how I'm cutting it? So you are going to use this now to cut four fabric. You're not adding any allowance to it. You cut it directly four. So I'm going ahead to cut four fabric. So I'm going to iron estate one part of each. Then I'm going to turn it to give me two colors. So I'm just going to turn it except the smaller side, that side that will attach to the neck. So let me show you how it is after ironing it. So I'm gonna have to turn it and iron it. So now it's very beautiful. So I'm also gonna have to lose my zipper small, like by half an inch, so that it will be easy for me to attach my collar to it. So I'm going to turn my fabric now from the inside out. So I'm attaching the collar from the inside. So I'm just opening the zipper so it will be easy for me to do. So now from that midpoint you notch, you are going to work with pins. So you are going to pin it gently. If you hold the collar by half an inch round, you get exactly your collar measurement. So you are just going to pin it. So I'm pinning it from the midpoint. So I'll pin one side first. Just pin it gently. So from the other side, please, when you are pinning it, make sure there is no space. There's no space. Make sure they are close to each other. There's no space between the collar. So you pin the other side too. Just watch what I'm doing. I'll pin it gently, then I'll just pin it round. I'll do that now. So after doing that, after pinning it round, it's time for me to sew it. So you are just going to sew it, and I'll come and show you. So I've gone ahead to sew it, and I've also gone ahead to weave it. Immediately I sew it, I weave it. Do you understand? So it will be neat. You can see it's neat from the inside and it's neat from the outside. So you are going to open your collar. On the right side, can you see it? Make sure the folding is to your fabric itself. Then you are now going to top stitch on it. Please look at what I'm doing. You top stitch on it. That's the only way your collar will relax very well. You top stitch on the right side of your fabric. So I've done that now. It's time for me to now turn the zipper and close it. Just watch out how I'm folding the zipper for it to close. We lose half inch from the zipper now. So see the way I'm folding it inside. See the way I'm folding my zipper. I'll just fold it gently and just top stitch small on top of the zipper and it will close it up. You do the same for the other side. I'm doing it again so you see what I'm doing. I'm doing it again. Fold it small and just sew it in. You do for the other side. And this is our beautiful gown. Can you see how beautiful our collar is? So you can use this collar for any other style you want. Kindly like, share and subscribe. Take care. Bye.